happening, good people? This is your man Antoine, right back with another dope episode of Coture Conversations. And listen, we are dabbling into an area that is fairly new to us over here at the publication. So I'm excited because I want to learn some stuff. But I want to let the beautiful woman that I have sitting here, I want to let her introduce herself. Go ahead and tell the people who you are.
Hello. Thank you so much, Antoine, for that warm welcome. Hello, everybody. Peace and blessings. My name is Coach Shay, and I'm really excited to be here just to chat a little bit and let you all know a little bit about me. So yeah, let's get it going.
Yes. So listen, talk a bit about where you're from, your humble beginnings and what led you in the direction, because I see some of your accolades and I want to tap into them.
Okay. So humble beginnings. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
So I'm definitely what you call a dirty South girl.
Shelby County.
And then my formative years, so teen and adult years, I was raised in Texas. Spent some time in Dallas and then wound up in Houston a little bit after that. And now I'm up on the East Coast in Philly. So lots of experiences and lots of cool stuff that I've done. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that. But I will always be a Southern girl and make sure I do document that.
And listen, I can feel the energy because I'm a Southern man myself, and I've been that. I was born in Georgia actually, man. So Southeast Georgia. Here in Orlando. So you are a wellness enthusiast. Please talk to us about that.
All right. I'm glad you asked. I'm actually a health coach as well. And so basically, I just have a passion for helping people find their joy. As you know, particularly people of color, we tend to struggle in the area of health, whether it's spirituality, whether it's the way we eat, whether it's moving our bodies. And then there's also environmental factors that play into that as well to why we don't have access to certain things. And so I decided I wanted to really make it my life's work to make sure that, of course, all people that, we're healthy and strong and have bright perspectives on life, but really my people are super important. We are always the highest statistic in this, the lowest to do that, the most likely to die, the most likely to do all these things. And so what I want to do is help change that narrative, because I do believe that, and we're from the South, so you know how it is. We're very accustomed to certain ways of eating, certain ways of living, not moving our bodies, slathering everything in butter and gravy and sugar and all the things. And I was doing it too. But I think that's how we grew up, but the point of it is that also what happens is that we create this social acceptance, right? In the South, they used to say, this runs in my family. So everybody's got diabetes, everybody's got high cholesterol, everybody's got these things. We can change that. Yeah, for sure. So I realized that we are not prone to anything. What we're prone to is a lack of progression in education when it comes to health. And in my opinion, we are some of the strongest, brightest, most powerful people on this earth. There's no reason why we should be suffering from health disparity. So
that's fact me. On my end. You hear me?
Yeah.
That is a fact, buddy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Got that down. Go ahead.
For sure. So I actually, and it's interesting because people say, and I'm sure you know this already, I've been vegan for 9 years. And people go, how did somebody born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, eating everything from the root to the tail, turn out to be vegan? It's like a whole change of life. But what happens is that when you start to get educated and your awareness starts to rise and you start to learn that the things that people say belong to other cultures actually belong to us first. We've just gotten misdirected and departed from the things, for example, being connected to earth, being connected to land, eating holistically, moving our bodies, and aligning ourselves spiritually. We have gotten away from that. And it's nobody's fault. Right? There's reasons.
There's reasons. I think I definitely want to touch on that because I want to learn more about holistic healing and in that field. Talk to me about that. Teach me some about that because I don't know much about it. I'm aware of it, but right now, if you guys don't know, this is a moment to get a bit of education.
Yeah, thank you. So when we talk about, our bodies are wired, first of all, to heal themselves. There's pretty much, now the debates are out there, but there's also the research that has been done to prove that if you live your life in a certain way, you pretty much can manage yourself in terms of ensuring your own health. I am a person who has experience of having, doctors will prescribe you everything. Everything has a pill attached. They throw you a pill for this, they throw you a pill for that. We're used to following. Right. Yeah. I mean, and not only that, when you, it's a couple of things. So for one, we look at doctors pretty much in the way we look at a lot of figures in society as the authorities on our lives and on our bodies. But in actuality, we're uniquely designed. And so there are some things about us that have a particular constitution that doesn't apply to other people. Right. Yeah. So it's also understanding that people may have high blood pressure. And let me preface this by saying, I'm not saying that prescriptions are bad. I'm not saying that people should not see doctors. What I am saying is that we have to get to educating ourselves about ourselves so that we understand that just because this person says this is the thing,
that's right,
may not necessarily be the case. I'll give you an example. So you think about people who go to the doctor for high blood pressure. I know folks who have high blood pressure. You might have it also. We all know somebody if it's not us ourselves. So one thing about it is, when you go to the doctor, very rarely will they sit you down and say, listen, the root cause of your high blood pressure is possibly your lack of exercise, the way you eat. If you're a smoker, what is your stress level? Yeah. First of all, they've only got about 10 minutes to spend with you anyway. So trying to get to know you and understand your family history and your stress factors and all those things is probably not really going to get to happen in the way that it should. And so what happens is there's the script. Hey, go take this and we'll see what happens. It works for a little while. Then it's adjusting again. You come back and it's this hamster wheel. When in actuality, no one has said, I wonder if it's what I'm eating that's keeping me unadjusted. I wonder if it's the level of stress, right? I wonder if it's the fact that I don't exercise and move my body. So these are all empowering things as well. So I truly believe that part of restoring ourselves back to homeostasis or balance is us being able to take our health into control. Again, not saying you don't have to take medication, but where is that line or that meeting that says, okay, I hear that, but let me see what else I can do first. And the information is out there, right? This is what I'm saying is not like some ancient, it is an ancient secret, but it's not private anymore. But what happens too is that we believe, particularly as people of color, like, oh, this is stuff that we don't do. Oh, I have to eat this way and I don't eat like that. And I can't afford to go to this grocery store and I'm not supposed to shop in this neighborhood. What I'm saying, and I know we won't have enough time to get into this, is that a lot of this is also mental. It's perception as well.
Oh, yeah.
There is a history of devaluing Black and brown bodies that we have bought into. We accept the fact that, we're prone to having high blood pressure. We're prone to being obese. We're prone to dying early. We're prone to not having access to fresh food. And it's absolutely not true. But that is what I would say, I call it the Underground Railroad narrative. And what I mean by that is that's what's been traveling in the background and underground, and people have been passing and carrying this information on. And we're used to it. You go to a family reunion and you see lots of folks, right, who we love to death. These are our people. And we know they're not eating the best way they can. And we know grandma is on this medication and grandpa's on this and auntie's on this. But this is our culture.
Yes,
this is our culture. And we get lost because a lot of times I've had people say to me constantly, well, when you go to family reunion, what will you eat? Or your grandmother makes you this plate and you can't. My own experience is a family member makes you a plate. And until people really get used to having a vegan in the family, the way we and most people communicate is through the act of service, the act of love. And so when family makes food for you,
you better, especially from the
love you better eat it.
And you better eat it. I'm gonna tell you that now. And I'm like that. I'm like that with my children. I'm like, I done sat in that kitchen and you listen, y'all gonna eat this. But I'll tell you this. Just know, if you notice here, you see this in my neck. That means I had a trach in my neck. That means that I was on my deathbed before. I was in the hospital for in 2019 for about 6 months. I had severe acute pancreatitis, 7 major abdominal surgeries, had to come back and have an 8 my reconstructive surgery. So I had to relearn how to walk and all. So all of these things that you're speaking about, I found this out the hard way. So I was on medications. I was on the most expensive machines that they had to keep me alive. So I know now. I learned through experience, and then I'm able to walk around, and now I have this knowledge. But look what I had to go through. This is the point I'm making. Look what I had to go through to now be going to the doctor regularly. Now I have a gastro doctor. I have a cardiologist. I have all of these people, and the thing is, they making a ton of money. I'm gonna tell you this right now. They're making a ton of money, and they are always going to prescribe you medication. All right. I remember I was going to take a CAT scan one time, and I was asking the guy that was wheeling me to the, the guy they take you to the in the wheelchair. And I said, man, because I was concerned about my blood pressure. I just found out my blood pressure was high because I just came out of it. And I was like, man, would there ever be a way that I won't have to be on these pills? And he was like, no, you're going to be on them for the rest of your life. And I was just like, nah, that don't even seem right, man. Like, it got to be something. So, yes. So what you're saying, I've experienced it. And I had to learn to wean myself off of medication that, because they had me on so many pills. So yes, guys, this is, and all of the stuff that we've been eating, and like, I don't even play that now. Like, I tell my folks, I'm like, listen, I know it's good. Look, I know we've been eating this our whole life, but listen, it's been killing us slowly our whole life. Okay. So I'm not going to do that to my children. What I'm going to do is, I tell them, I like, listen, I know y'all don't want to eat all this healthy, but I'm trying to save your life, son. I'm trying to save your life, because you remember, and I always tell them, you remember when I was in the hospital and all that? Yeah, you don't want to go through that. See, right now, you're not thinking about that because you're 14, 15, you think you're invincible. But even more worse than when we were coming up, because I'll be 41 next month. I'm just going to give you my age. The food is worse now because all of it's fake. Oh, yeah. Ain't none of this stuff is real. It's damn near like if you ain't growing it yourself, it's poison. Exactly. So, we need people like Coach Shay to help guide us and be that guiding light, be that voice, okay? To guide us towards reason, because we got to start using common sense. Man, that food good. That food is good. But we gotta find the alternatives, and we weren't always like this, and we didn't always have this diet. So we just gotta tap back into that's already in us, okay? And get back to the root of who we are. So plant-based, was that something, was it hard for you, or is it hard for most people to make that transition?
I would say, I always tell people, one thing I like to say is that there's levels and stages to everything. I would say it had some level of difficulty to it. I think, for me, it was probably easier than maybe other folks because I was in a community in Houston, so I was around folks who were, medicine women and, activists and all these things. And so this was kind of the culture, but everybody doesn't have that community around them. And so it's a lot harder if you're just like the Lone Ranger trying to figure this out. You don't know anybody who's eating this way. I wanted to also point out to Antoine, I want to go back to a point that you just made that was really, really good, talking about how you talk to your children, which is so important. That's the other reason why we really, really have to get our health together now, because we have to teach the children the best way to live, because what we're seeing is a total degeneration. Right? As each generation moves forward, they're also moving backwards at the same time. You'll hear people say, well, my children don't eat this or don't eat that. I try to encourage people that our children learn from their role models, which are us. Right? And so if we try to make that change, but I don't want to ignore the fact that there are barriers for some people. And what I mean by that is some of us live in neighborhoods where there is no grocery store. The only thing there are corner stores, food deserts, food swamps. There's lack of access. There's no education. There's some vegetables and fruits that people look at them and go, what is this? I've never seen this before. And when you look on any form of media, right? TV, social media, whatever it is, and you see the image of health, right? We're just getting to where that starts to look like us. So the other part of that is that because there are so many areas of our lives being Black in America, I hope this is a fine direction for me to move in.
Listen, get off, because I'm making it black. It don't get no blacker than me.
Good.
I mean,
good.
Yes.
Good.
If people get offended by it,
I was going to say, because that's part of it too, right? It's part of it too, because the thing about it is that there's so many parts of our lives that we don't have control over. Everywhere we look, there is a certain image, a certain figurehead, a certain message that says to us, okay, this is for whoever it is, whether it's the neighborhood you live in, where you buy your clothes or your food. There's always been kind of like this invisible barrier. Nobody has to say it. We know it exists. It's been existing since we've been existing in terms of being over here in America. So that's the other part of it too, Antoine. It's like that little piece of identity that we have, right, comes from our culture and how we were raised and who we grew up around, whether it's the barbershop where the brothers meet up and have the conversations, this way we give dap, the way the sisters, get together. And those are things that belong to us, right?
That's right.
Food and the way we cook and the way we gather and the way we celebrate around food is very much connected to our identity, right? So if we start switching in that area, it's almost like, well, then who am I? What do I have left?
That's right.
This is the only way that I can show up as being Black is, we do the greens, we do the mac, we do all these things. What is healthy? Like this, it's more about love and acceptance, because I don't want to go to the family reunion and not be able to commune and show love, which means being able to sit down with this plate, being able to eat all this food, being able to fall asleep. Me falling asleep and having indigestion is a sign that the food was good. These are the things that we have adopted in our culture. So what happens is that when you ask people to switch it up, for example, I remember, and we got this expo that's coming up. We're not just focusing on food. We're focusing on moving your body. We're focusing on self-care. We're focusing on edification. We're trying to hit like all of the cornerstones. I remember when I first got into yoga, right? That was because this is like part of this whole journey I was going on, this transformative, restorative journey that I wanted to go on, because I felt like the Blackness that I was experiencing had something missing because it had been picked away and reassigned, right? And then sold back as, oh, well, if you want to get into this thing, we'll let you in, but it was actually ours already.
You
know what I mean? It was already ours, but we didn't know that. So what happens is you take these aspects of Blackness that create power or empower people of color, you take that, you make it unattractive or you make it inaccessible to where we don't want it, then it becomes a commodity. And because we want to fit in, now we want it back because everybody else wants it.
Now we want it
Malcolm
back.
X called it the bait and switch.
Listen,
that's what's happening.
Listen, all of my subscribers, everybody that follow Apex Couture Magazine know that it's a constant theme. I've been beating that drum forever. That is the whole and sole purpose of this publication, because I'm sick of them controlling our narratives, they're telling our stories, our culture. We are the culture. Pretty much everything you have in your household was invented by a Black person, right?
Right.
But you wouldn't know that. You think we attribute everything that was created to somebody that doesn't look like us. So, and that's because we allowed them to take it. A lot of the stuff, because we're so creative, right? We can just create something and just give it away. We created hip hop. But what's wound up happening is it's always exploited, it's always sold back to us, and it's always perverted. Everything is always perverted.
Yes.
You take the soul out of it, because you took us out of it. You take the soul out of it. Now it's up and it's in the hands of some devils. And what they about to do is pervert it, exploit it, make all the money off of it, exclude us from it, sell it back to us, say that, we, make us believe that, it wasn't ours to begin with. So like you just said, let us back into this thing. And the sole purpose of my publication is, no, that ain't what it is. We know who we are. We know our value. All right.
Right.
We validate ourselves. We don't need y'all validation. And I don't sit
and part
around.
Of that is health.
Yes.
Right. And part of it is health. That's the thing we have to see ourselves. And this is like that re-identification, right? Like we have to see ourselves. I tell people all the time, these foundational things we're talking about, whether it's, again, eating right, managing your health, Mental health also. We don't have
Yes.
enough time, Antoine. Mental health is another aspect that really has to get looked at. But what happens again is that it's there's so many other things that are at play, right? Like it's anybody can say you should eat better, right? Let's take that little piece. You should eat better. This food is bad for you. This alcohol and this beer that you might be doing in excess. Let me say that, in excess. It's bad for you. But the other part is that a lot of us have to self-soothe. These are the things that are familiar to us, right? So it's like when we're upset, we've been out there in the world and, it's been kicking us around and all the things are happening. Who says, oh my gosh, I can't wait till I get in the house and get a salad?
Yeah. I mean,
that's not the brain wiring, right? That's not it. So what happens is that, though, we have to think about the other part is that our internal systems are damaged because we spend so much time in fight or flight. All the time, most of the time, most people, again, not trying to generalize whoever may be watching this with us, but we spend a lot of time in fight or flight, which keeps our inflammation levels high in our bodies. And when inflammation is constantly high, our bodies are in disrepair. And it's constantly struggling to maintain immunity, when we're not getting sleep. So what I'm saying is sleep and proper food, but there are external factors that affect that also are starting here. When we think about what it is for some folks, maybe not everyone who's tuning in, but for the average person, we're dealing with a lot of micro and macro aggressions. We have financial concerns. We're trying to raise children. We have, concerns about job stability. COVID is still a thing. There's all of these things that we are dealing with on top of being who we are in the skin that we're in. So that's why the healthy living component, which I'm so excited that we're gathering in Florida, because we're going to be talking as who we are to I like to say our brothers, our sisters, our family, whoever else is going to be there. But we are there to empower people. This is not about judgment. This is not about saying you must be vegan or you must do this, you have to stop doing that. It's about acknowledging the fact that we have to make a change. There is no war, battle, or anything that we can go into properly prepared if we are sick. It's impossible. Right. So it makes sense that you keep people sick and unhealthy and relying upon the knowledge and opinion of others, because that's how you can keep, and I'm not going to say someone else is keeping it. I'll also say us keeping ourselves, because like I know, you can talk to people. You can say, hey, let's start walking. Let's start moving our bodies. Let's drink more water. Let's try to decrease our dairy intake or our meat intake. And there will be someone who say, oh, I can't do that. I can't live without my this. I can't go without my that. But we can. But what it is that those are the things that no matter how the world is spinning around us and all the uncertainty, these cultural things that we hang on to, they're stationary. We know we can depend on them. And they also help to bring up memories and good feelings within us when we think about, oh, when I sit down and eat this reminds me of grandma. This reminds me of whatever. It transports us somewhere other than the stress and the disappointment that we might be experiencing at the time.
We're constantly dealing with that. And one of the things with my publication, I deal with all industries. So health and fitness is new. It's a new one that I'm dealing in, but I'm taking interest. But one of the issues we have is that we've been groomed to be so superficial, right? So if you I'm just gonna say this real quick. If you really want everybody to get on health, let a rapper start talking about it. Get them rappers to start talking about it in their songs. Not everybody. Listen. And so what I like to do with my publication is I like to take the things that are deemed uncool, that don't look hot or don't look good, and make them look good. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're about to do with this expo. That's what y'all about to see. Because once you start getting a lot of melanin popping off in that thing, and us bringing our greatness to the forefront, okay? Y'all finna know how dope. You're gonna look good being healthy. You're gonna look good. You're gonna feel good. This is the new the new way. This is what we going.
It is
right. But we've been there. We're just going back. We going back, right? And we're gonna make this thing look good. So it's, I understand, you know what I'm saying? Your favorite rapper ain't talking about it. Well, we have a few. Shout out to Larry June. He talks about being healthy, and he's actually creating a way. But those are some of the things that are not in the algorithms. You see what I'm saying? You're not seeing that when you're scrolling Instagram. You're seeing a bunch of women that done had BBLs and then holding like tummy tea, or saying like, hey, all you got to do is exercise, go in the gym. And when you went and had the surgery. So you know, when our youth is seeing that, that's something we have to fight against, because we don't really control those algorithms. So we can if that what we make trend, and that's what we are saying. Right. Tell us about what you plan to bring to the Love Yourself Health and Fitness Expo.
Well, let me tell you, I am super excited. First of all, shout out to you, just for using your platform. It's so important that we, sometimes we have to do the things that, like you said, that aren't cool. They aren't always sexy, but we're doing it out of love. We're doing it because once you learn something and you start finding the light, you want everyone else to come with you. And so that's the way I see it. So for me, first of all, I'm bringing a lot of good energy. I'm super excited. I need to get back down to the South. I miss it. I miss it. But what I want to do is to, first of all, be able to greet everyone in loving kindness and help people to understand, again, that this is a safe, non-judgmental space. We're coming together as family, and we're coming together to figure out how to save our own lives. Everybody's at a different point in their journey. Also, I want to make it clear this expo is not going to be a bunch of fanatics who just, work out and drink water all the time, and that's all we do. We're human beings, right? That's right. And we want to share, and we're still on our journeys, right? Because I'm a real person. I still have struggles. It was important enough to me to decide that I want to make a career as a health coach, because I said, this is information that I want to take out. I want to be able to tell this story to someone who looks like me, so they can look and say, oh, okay, I get it. Now, how are you doing this? So what we are bringing is a lot of good vibes, a lot of education, a lot of information, being able to focus on fitness and moving your body in simple, practical ways that you can do that. To your point, Antoine, people look at TV and go, oh, I can't do that. Like, that's not me, or they probably had surgery, or they've got money. Here's the thing, we can do this. It does not take a lot. What it takes is a reminder of how important you are, a reminder of how wonderful you are, a reminder of how much you matter and how much the world needs your life, my life, all of these lights to come together. And in order for our energy to go out into this universe and really make change, it starts from within. I don't care if someone just commits to drinking more water. Hey, that's a start, right? That's a start. Yeah, that's a start. And then from there, we can talk about what are the pieces, because when I work with people, I always remember that everybody's journey is different. I've been doing health coaching for some years, amongst a whole bunch of other things, and holistic practices, natural medicines, plant medicines, which, that's another aspect to the story. These are all things that I want to socialize and normalize with people, so people stop saying, well, I don't eat like that, I can't eat like that, versus understanding what this form of exercise or what a particular type of food will do for your body. It's just like when we get cars, right? We love to get our new cars. We take good care of them. We wash them. We got the nice rims, whatever you want to do to them. They look good on the outside. You care about that car so much that you're going to make sure the oil gets changed. Yes, you're going to make sure those tires get rotated. You're going to keep insurance on your car. You're going to drive it with care. You're going to do all those things, right? Because that car is valuable to you, not just from people looking at the car, some people like that, but not just from that standpoint, but also for what the car can do for you, because you need that car to help you move around. It's crucial and critical to your livelihood. So if we can place that much value, right, on things, then we certainly owe it to ourselves to place that type of value on this body. We only get one. And we know as we get older, it takes more work. And it's not just about, like you said, the lips and all the things, the superficial thing. And again, not knocking anyone who does that. But just as much as we're doing these things on the outside, my concern and what I want to bring to the expo and really just stress to folks is that take care of that inside. And not just through food, through managing your stress, through checking the relationships that you have in your life. I don't care who they are. Are they creating toxicity?
Yes, and please remove if they are. Get rid of them if they are.
We need you to remove that. Right. What is it? Also, too, even introducing things. I was talking to someone about breathing, which we take for granted. We go, well, like what? Breathing. Like we breathe. But to be able to sit intentionally and actually breathe in and out and feel that breath leave your body and realize, I don't take time to just breathe. I'm always giving like short, shallow breaths, and I walk around and huff, and I'm always like tensed up, which again is making the body work harder than it has to. But again, someone has to say, wait a minute, we got to pause this. We have to change this. That's the one thing that I noticed moving from the South to the East Coast. You know this. Everything is fast.
Yes.
That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, oh my God, people are like pushing me. I'm like, where is this so fast? So what I started realizing though is that it's not about the external. It's about finding the space here, living inward then out versus externally then in. That has to be taught. Someone has to teach us that, because we spend a lot of time, people call it hustling, grinding, you know.
Yeah, I know. Man,
all those things, which in actuality is not as glamorous as people try to make it appear. Because
it ain't
when
nowhere
we say
near it.
It's not, because it means
nobody
that you're not
the grunt work, man. The grunt work is, and, you know, and that's, you know, I've been doing that with my publication for the past 9 going on 10 years. That's what got me two awards in 1 year. Okay. And I just had to go ahead and throw that out there, man, because, you know, I've been told that sometimes you got to get to yourself like that. But we are the culture, right? We are the culture. You know, without us, ain't nothing hot. We make everything hot. So let's make health hot. Let's make wellness hot. Let's make we can do it. We will do it. And that's what we're about to do.
We're already doing it. Actually, what you're doing with your platform is you're showing people, because again, sometimes it takes a minute. And what I love about social media, and you know this, we talked about algorithms, there are some people of color that are doing this thing. Yes. I mean, they are making it beautiful. But again, it's like, something has to happen to where you develop the interest for that. You know how it goes. And then as you start looking at these things, you begin to see more. So you don't know what you're not seeing until someone says, you start follow this person.
That's right. And I found, and some of those people that you're speaking of will be at the Love Yourself Health and Fitness. Yes, they will be there. So you got some great names. You guys are really going to find some new people to follow, and this is going to take you down the road that you will be thanking us. And we'll thank each other, because we're doing this all together. Listen, I want you to tell the people where they can follow you, find your expertise. How can they get in contact with you when they need someone? This is that good game right here. Y'all need to be served up on that plate.
And we just getting started.
That's right.
We are just getting started. We are not done with this conversation. So I'm on Instagram at like a football coach. Coach Shay 2020. I used 2020. That wasn't the year I established the Instagram. That just meant clear vision, and that's what I want everybody else to have. So Coach Shay 2020 on IG. You can, check me out there. I really, really, really have a passion for helping people. We have to do this together. No one person is any better or more knowledgeable than the other. We just learn at different paces at different times. But I also want to say too that I appreciate people saying that they may need me, but I also need my people as well. We are a village. We are a tribe. We are communing together. This is life or death, literally. And you don't have to be vegan. I'm happy to help with that and talk about that if that's what you're curious about. But if we can just modify and just try to live better and love ourselves and each other more, because that's where it starts. When we have a lot of love here, it radiates out, and then we're more intentional about what we do and how we do it. So we're excited. I know you're excited to explore all of these things. We have an amazing, amazing team on deck. Florida will not be the same. I'm telling you, we are bringing some things that Florida has not seen, and it is a blessing and a privilege, I'd like to say, just to be part of it. I would say this is a revolution, and it is going to be, where people can see it and access, and hopefully, like you said, Antoine, we are starting something, or we're making something bigger and bringing more folks into it.
Yes, ma'am, we are. One thing that Apex Couture Magazine is known for is setting trends, is shedding light on the people and the things that we may overlook. We don't overlook, because we're the people that make the world go round. Doctors make the world go round. Dentists make the world go round. Yes, entertainers make the world go round. But we're all connected, and we should always connect these things. So what we do at Apex Couture Magazine is we make things hot, because we don't wait for validation. We validate ourselves, and that's what we're doing. Right. And we're gonna do this October 28th and the 29th. So you guys make sure you come on out, and it's gonna be hot, man. Y'all know what that do at Apex Couture Magazine. Everybody gonna be looking good in there, man. Come on, man. So listen, I'd like to thank you again. Beautiful. I feel your spirit. Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to meet you. I think you come on the platform and giving your expertise, but we have a lot of work to do. And listen, guys, y'all already know what I do at Apex Couture, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. Y'all gonna tap in at Swain Girl Media. Y'all gonna tap in at apexcouturemag.com, and make sure y'all stay following it. Listen, I love the support, and I thank all of you guys who voted and got me 2 awards this year because of work.
Congratulations.
Yes, beautiful people like Miss Coach Shay right here. All right, you guys have a good one. And until next time, man, y'all be breezy.